Look only at the looming energy crisis in Europe and the UK, which Putin is taking advantage of. But he writes, but it's of their own making, in refusing to develop their own natural gas resources, opposing nuclear energy, and adopting an impossible position on fossil fuels. Now, that's not Alan Jones, that's Patrick Moore, the founder of Greenpeace. Well, let's come closer to home and this climate change nonsense. An international study of major weather and extreme events by Italian scientists has found no evidence of a climate emergency in the records to date. This is a study providing a long-term analysis of heat, drought, floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, which finds no clear trend of extreme events. And the paper found that global trends in heat wave intensity were, quote, not significant, unquote. And thank God for people like the Australian boss of Brickworks, Lindsay Partridge, who said last week that jobs, lives and businesses will be trashed by the government forcing through unrealistic net zero emission targets. And he warned of a second supply chain shock from European factories shutting down due to a looming winter energy crisis. He said because several brick and roof tile makers in Italy and Spain have already shut their manufacturing sites as the gas shortage and rampant gas prices in Europe are destroying businesses. And he said, and that strangles the supply of premium building materials in Australia. He said, everyone knows the impossibility that young people have of entering the housing market. Well, now an extraordinary decision on that issue. Because of this 82% renewable target by 2030, all homes in the country will have to be energy rated if we're to meet that target. Who said so? The former left-wing Premier of Queensland, Anna Bligh, who's now head of the Australian Bankers Association. And she said this will, quote, help the country reach its carbon emissions reduction target, unquote. And she almost boasted that the markets will start to behave differently because this will, quote, affect the value of your property, unquote. What the hell would Anna Bligh know? But make no mistake, once we start demanding that the housing market be energy rated and that somehow houses will be classified according to their low carbon dioxide emissions, then like everything else, to reach that target, there will be a massive extra cost. So people without a home will find themselves in a more impossible position of ever owning one. What did Patrick Moore say? The founder of Greenpeace, quote, Greenpeace has been hijacked by the political left and that it, along with others, has adopted many policies that will be, quote, very destructive to civilization as they are not technically achievable. Now, we've got home ownership being placed further beyond the affordability for those who don't own a home, and if this rubbish goes on, they never will. Last election saw some of these political alarmists disappear over the political cliff. Hopefully this kind of political behaviour will take more with them at the next election.